Hi, this is Ada. We will talk about tax planning. Tax planning is such an important aspect of our financial life where there are many misunderstandings about it. And today we will dive into it and have a close look. In order to understand how to do tax planning, first thing we need to have a correct concept. What is tax? What is tax? There's a most famous quote from the Ben Franklin. In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. It's very true, but this quote also makes tax a little bit scary. We don't need to be scared of taxes. We should understand it. All right. What is tax? Let's look at another famous quote from another famous president. Tax, after all, are dues that you pay for the privileges of membership in an organized society. I like this quote because it's put such a straightforward way. Just thinking, if you like to join a tennis club, swimming club, you have the privilege to use the facility and participate in those events. But at the same time, you need to pay a due, right? A membership due. For organized society, like a country like the United States, we have well-established system, we have road, we have those social benefits. All those had a cost. Well, the cost paid for? Yes, it's coming from the taxes. And just like any membership, often we heard complaints of members. As the customer, you have the right to quit those club and stop paying the fees. And for a taxpayer, we often see people moving from one place to another place. For example, from California to Texas, from New York to Florida, for tax purpose. It's just like you choose different clubs. You can move which draws your attention. We heard some people move out of states because they don't like the tax system, but in real life it's very few examples because this country offers so much. All right, let's have a deeper look. So it's a fee you need to pay, but tax also involved to become tools of social and economic policy making. See, so the government find out if they want the taxpayer to do something. A very powerful tool is give them tax benefit. For example, if they want to green energy, all right, they give the tax credit when you buy EV or install a solar panel on your roof. If they want people to be well educated, they give your tax credit when you send your kids to school or yourself go back to school for further education. Those are things, it's good for the good society, and the government want to encourage those behavior happens. So the tax has become a very powerful physical tools. Quick question, how much tax you paid? First, federal income tax. Depends on how much you earn. You can earn from the paycheck. You could earn it as a business owner. You could earn it from side hustle. All those need to pay a income tax. This federal level of income tax, it's up to 37%, and also states level income tax. As we mentioned before, states differs. If you live in California or New York, it does has a pretty significant state income tax. And of course, there's some states has zero income tax. Move to the next bullet point, property tax. If you own house, condo, vacation home, and you will need to pay property tax. It's also differ from place to place, but 1%, usually you can see 1% above of the property value. Pay attention to here, it's not based on your income, it's based on the property value. And we know the house value could be million, 2 million, several million. And if you calculate that, it's could be 5-finger numbers easily. which might goes as high as your income tax for some case. All right, sales tax. When you buy coffee, when you buy nice clothes, buy earring, all this good stuff, and you pay sales tax, sometimes you don't even pay attention. And if you are employee or if you're employer, when you do payroll, you also pay a 12.4% of payroll tax. If you're lucky enough, you have some heritage to left to your kids, grandkids, if you're lucky enough to be the receiver of such heritage, you might run into the estate tax as high as 40%. Just do a simple math, add up all those stuff to your tax bill, like how much of your income, how you're paying to tax. It's not a small number, isn't it? All right, tax code. Okay, there are so many misunderstandings of tax code. As we mentioned before, taxes everywhere, and people thinking many taxpayers believe tax law is there to get me. It's not 100% true. The truth is the tax law is something the government not only used to raise tax, but also to promote economic and social policy they wanted, they believe is right for the society. And tax law is indeed very complex. The good thing is you don't need to do it all by yourself. There are professionals out there to help you. The truth is, many people don't believe it. The tax law is written primarily to reduce your taxes. Look at the fact. In the United States, the tax law is 6,800 pages. Out of this 6,800 pages, only 30 pages are about raising taxes. It's basically the one sentence. Gross income means all income from whatever source derived, except as otherwise provided in this subtitle. So that means all the income is taxable, unless it addressed in the tax code. It's treated different. So 90% of the tax code actually is about how to reduce your tax. So in that way, the tax code actually written primarily to reduce your taxes. All right, now we had a quite clear picture about what is tax, and let's move on to what is tax planning. The tax planning is a method to analyze your whole financial situation and allow you to pay the least amount of taxes required by law. And tax planning is such an essential part of everybody's financial life. Okay, so we're talking about financial goal of individual. You have a goal. It's far above here, and you're here. The goal could be what lifestyle you want to live, about cash flow, cash in, cash out, and what kind of house, car, boat you want to own, what education you want to have for yourself or provide to your kids, what kind of retirement you're dreaming of, and what legacy you want left behind you. Those are all your goals. How you get there, and there's some tools. First, I believe the most important tool is your human capital, which means get educated, climb the ladder of your career, or develop your business venture. All those things from your human capital can bring your income. That's a one out of many zero of your assets. Without it, it's very hard to move on the rest of the list. And second, okay, you work hard, you have quite good income. Are you rich? Maybe, maybe not. depends on how many you save. In terms of wealthy, it's all like how many you earn minus how many you spend, and it's your saving. All right. With that, we move to the tax planning, which is a big part of your whole financial picture. So tax planning, the goal is to minimize your tax liability. That way you can put the money to your retirement account, to your education account, to help you achieve the goal. And then there's other piece like investment, how fast, how good your saving can grow. Also like the insurance to protect you in worst case. So I would say that health planning, it's one of the tools. It's not the only one. The goal is not to just focus on the tax, but looking at your whole picture. Okay, so put in a word, tax planning is reduce the tax liability and maximizing the ability to contribute to retirement, education, charity contribution. It's a crucial part for everybody's financial success. Just one clarification, if you are looking for some loophole, it's not gonna talking in this video, since there are so many legal things you can do. All right, and through the conversation with people, and I find out there's many myths about tax planning. It's kind of have not such a great reputation. The people often ask, is that lawful or is that ethical? Let's have a look on those questions. About is tax planning lawful? The most famous quote we will get is from this great judge. I quote, "Anyone may arrange his file so that his tax should be as low as possible. He is not bound to choose that pattern which best pay the treasury. This is not even a patriotic duty to increase one's taxes." Over and over again, court has said that there's nothing sinister in so arrange a file as to keep taxes as low as possible. Everyone does it, rich and poor alike, and do all right, for nobody own any public duty to pay more than the law demands. It's a very well said quote. If you think about the tax as a physical policy, you will notice tax planning is legal, and in some ways it's very helpful for the society. Remember, the 95 of the tax code is encourage certain activities to benefit the public, and the government want taxpayer to respond to these policies. Think about it. If nobody responds to the EV credits and the efforts government want to push the green energy, it's kind of not so effective. So they need to think about other ways. So response to the tax code, taking advantage of the intended benefit, is doing what our government asks us to do. In many ways, utilizing tax code to fullest to save as much as money in tax as possible is one of the most patriotic things taxpayer can do. And in terms of those social responsibility, there's many other ways. Like you can contribute to your charity and create jobs. There's many ways you can do that.